Oh man.
Oh, what a day! What a day! And my day started off so miserable, Legend, by what PlayStation dropped earlier today. But that's
Oh,
another story for another
yeah, I
day.
saw that. I'm like, the all
Yeah,
digital era is here now. It's
yeah,
here.
it is indeed. The times they are changing, as Bob Dylan once said. But with that said, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you being here. It is Gerald Glassford along with Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Please go ahead and take care of us by liking, subscribing, following, whatever you could do to support us right here at the channel. It is, of course, free agency day kind of two-ish, day and a half-ish, what have you. And the Lakers finally made some moves. We'll go ahead and talk about that in a sec. But I want to sum up my feelings, and I'll bring Legend on here. Legend, I Got Next Sports Media. Great to have you here, my friend. Before I get into my feelings and how the day progressed and what I was observing, because I could have been like voicing my opinion all around, but I decided
Hmm.
mainly to just observe of what was going on. But Legend, first, I forgot to mention the other day, congratulations on getting well-known Laker hater Tim Bontemps to your Atlanta front office. I wanted to go ahead and mention that to you. You know, good luck on that one. So,
Yeah, we're
uh,
screwed on that
I'll,
one.
yes, we are. But I want to go ahead, Legend, and bring you in here and discuss my thoughts and your thoughts on what Rob did today, as far as it's concerned. I'm going to discuss that. We're going to, as the main topic, Joe hopefully will be on here in a little bit. I will later on. I want to go ahead and mention if Legend wants to touch on some of the other NBA stuff. I got about 90 minutes right now. I mean, I'm coming on later today with Caleb Ponce later tonight, where we'll discuss the day in full, and I'll have more time to go ahead and do so. But I got about 90 minutes right now to do so. Legend, I'll just say this. I chose to go ahead and be more of an observer today. And I was observing a lot of things. I was observing the Lakerholics as far as their chat really going off with various opinions on the day that was for the Lakers as far as the major dealings and signings that
Mhm.
they did today. I was watching Legend, your and my chat that were associated with Joe and a lot of the guys from the LFB on WhatsApp and observing that all day and watching their various opinions. But throughout this, all this, Legend, the one guy I did not hear a peep from is Rob Pelinka's biggest supporter up until today, maybe, and that was Stefan Piscano, because last night he was, still trying to justify that. Okay, maybe Rob has made some errors. Maybe I didn't like the Reeves thing and all that, but it's okay, Gerald. Come to Rob Pelinka Island where the water is warm. And I said, well, if that's the case, I'll probably drown, and you'll be right there drowning with me. Little did I know a few hours later, Rob would go ahead and make some moves, including, let me go ahead and name off for everybody, signing into free agency, Collin Sexton, also as well Quentin Grimes, also as well Sandro Mamukelashvili. I think I said that correctly. And then also on top of that, signing a 4-year, $130 million contract and getting traded to the Los Angeles Lakers for multiple first round draft picks, multiple first round swaps, was Walker Kessler. So after all that, I said, I'm going to hear from Stefan Piscano, Legend. I'm going to hear something. So I waited and I waited and I waited. Funny enough, I did not hear from the biggest Rob Pelinka supporter all day. So if that's the case, and see, before we really get into it with our opinions, what does that tell you when the biggest Rob Pelinka supporter, when the guy that is the biggest guy that, as far as I know, that has supported on his own channel for supporting Rob Pelinka, has lost to me many times in arguments trying to support Rob Pelinka? What does that tell you, Legend, when someone like that does not say anything all day about the moves Rob did today?
They'll let you know they're losing faith. They can't defend him no more. Um, from what I saw, what they did today, they did answer a big need. You got your center, so I'll give you that. You did good on that. You got your center. I had one
But
problem.
at what legend? At what price did we get this? One, we hope
131 million.
as much as Jaylen Brown.
That's where it get really bad when I look at what happened with Jaylen Brown. That's where it get bad. That's when I look at the fact that you really got finessed. Again, you got finessed on that one. The fact when I go back and I looked at both them two trades, and after I saw the Jaylen Brown one, I really look at you and say, "Damn, bro, you really gave up that much." Then you did. That's your problem, no doubt. But did you really have to give up that much to make it happen? God, maybe, like I said, maybe you had no choice, and this is the only way to get him. But the part that gets me the most is even worse than the money part. You have no tradable first round picks for the next 7 goddamn years. I get it. You needed a center, no doubt. You needed it. But do you know what you just did? If this don't work, you're pretty much fucked. You're fucked for the rest of these years. You are up the creek. You are absolutely up the creek if this don't work. And there's no way you should be able to stay higher if this don't work. You should be gone. You got to be gone if this don't work. You have to be. This type of like everything you've done, and I don't even want to talk about all them player options you just gave everybody. I don't even want to talk about that part because you was giving them away like it's just free money. But at this point, it looks like Rob is pretty much saying, "I'm putting my job on the line now for sure. If this fails, you gone. You got to be gone. If this fails, you have to be." I don't know how this is gonna work out. I have no idea, but he better hope it works. I'm seeing a lot of mixed emotions about the entire trade, depending on who you're looking at online. So a lot of mixed emotions. I'm kind of in between. I like that you got Kessler, but damn, you got finessed. You got finessed. That's way too much. That type of price, I would have thought you get a superstar, and I know you didn't get that. So that's why I'm like, yikes. You better pray this work. Rob, you on the clock, buddy. You on the clock. Even worse than ever before now.
I'll just say this, Legend, and I truly appreciate it. And by the way, everyone, please support Legend I Got Next Sports Media on YouTube. If you can, please, with a like and a subscribe. I said it best because I saw what was going on back and forth with the WhatsApp chat, but especially back and forth with the text chat between the Laker holics. Again, it would have been great if they had the show. This would have been great for YouTube viewing. But as it went on and the day went on, I kind of figured what would be the best quote I would be looking for to go ahead and sum up the day's actions for one Rob Pelinka. And I think I said it best. I think it says it best right here. Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of the great tours of, in many years, as far as the concerned, centuries gone by. He was quoted as bringing up the quote, "Do not be angry with the audacity of a desperate and drowning man for making a last effort to save himself from perdition." And I was thinking to myself, I don't think I could have said it any better myself. So with that said, also here today to go ahead and discuss in detail in regards to it, instead of doing a breaking news, I think we just wanted to get some time to let it fester, let it settle in as far as the day's actions by Rob Pelinka in getting Walker Kessler, a center who, again, has had some injury troubles, is still a young center at 24 with a lot of potential ahead of him, a lot of growth, that could be ahead of him, but at a very substantial price is what you paid for him. A guy in Sandro, again, and Mamu, he is for short, a guy who, again, comes with a lot of promise as well, but who's been a reserve all of his career. Also, as well, Quentin Grimes, also a good player, but again, a better in a contributing role off the bench than as a starter. But now you're propelling those two into starters positions as of this time, and a solid backup that you paid quite a little bit of money for in Collin Sexton, who is or could be the only 40% three-point shooter on the team as of now, looking at what we're seeing the stats. So with that said, Rob had a busy day, and it was all announced within about a span of a half hour. Rob went shopping, And here today to go ahead and discuss the shopping spree of one Rob Pelinka. Good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out today at the Joe Soro Experiment. It is, of course, Joe Soro. Joe, good to have you here. Wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on the day. I've been seeing them on the WhatsApp chat, and I just wanted to say I'm glad to have you here. I'm here for about 90 minutes just to give you guys a pretext again. So with that said, Rob went shopping today. I used that quote earlier, and I thought for me it was apropos on how I felt the day's actions were. A lot of overpaying by Rob, a lot of concern for him out of his desperate actions. The Lakers now have not much left as far as assets are concerned. After all said and done, I'm going to post it up here, but they've got a roster right now. I'm not sure where it will be in the Western Conference standings, but I don't think Oklahoma and San Antonio are going to be losing any sleep.
Well, in most cases, maybe as far back as 5 years ago and beyond, you'd probably have an argument there. But the NBA has changed and the culture of life has changed so much that we don't really know what's going to happen. And it's not just something that it's not hype. It's not just, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Premonition hope, if you will. It's just not. We don't know what's going to happen with Wemby. We don't know what's going to happen with Oklahoma City and their structure. You saw what happened in Boston today. Boston went for the home run shot and they failed, and it ended up collapsing one of their pillars. Now, collapsing the pillar is the thought I had of the Jaylen Brown in Boston. However, you also got to understand the current system now that's in the NBA, and this is again a system that the players agreed to. And being that human beings are still there, no matter how rich they are, entitlement is still there, even though it's their decision that this system was allowed to happen. The NBA isn't going to allow you to have a long-standing team if you have two supermax contracts on the team. Would you agree? I think
the CBA tries to deter you from doing that.
So the funny thing is there's a deterrent. They try to deter you, but at the same time, they don't want player movement. Player movement means the team that you're on is the only team that's going to be able to pay you the supermax based off of certain performance incentives.
But once you get into more expenses, second apron type
it
deal,
also
deters you to go ahead and get off of that.
And it also penalizes you for drafting better players in the long run, because now if you do draft better players, superstar players that weren't supposed to be superstar players, and they want the max, hence why the Lakers got Mr. Kessler. This is the result. And I'm glad you did the show today at 5:00, because when you're upset, I wasn't upset today, I'm just using that as an example. When you're upset initially off of something, we've always kind of been taught to relax, take a deep breath, count to 10, go outside, take a walk, let your head clear up a little bit, let the emotion run out so you can make a coherent response to it. That happened today. That happened today because there's this balance of, well, what did you want Rob to do? Because there was nothing available for him to go get that would be better than a Walker Kessler. It's just, and they needed that kind of player, a player that could be a defensive player, a player that can score, a player that is young, a player that wants to be in LA. All these things that you need, he fills. Yes, he's not Jokic. Yes, he's not Wemby. But who is? And there was definitely no one available this summer for that. So what choice did Rob have other than to do this? And as far as the overpay thing, I think I started the conversation about the Supermax and these contracts. They're all overpaid in almost everyone is overpaid in the NBA based off of impact, if you really think about it. Like, who is a superstar in the NBA really, really like, this guy is under, like, LeBron was underpaid his entire career because it wasn't just him winning. It was his value to everything, the local community, the jersey sales, the ratings of TV shows. Kobe, the same thing. Shaq, the same thing. Like, to me, we have watered down, just like we've watered down so many things in society. We have watered down the superstar so much that we look at someone like Jaylen Brown and say, this guy is a superstar. What is a superstar? He's an all-star. Yes, he's won a conference MVP. He's won a championship. But I think what re-registered my brain today was stars like Jaylen Brown typically don't get traded for a Paul George and a couple picks. Doesn't happen. It's very rare. The only time you'll get horrible value for a real star, like a Kareem back in 75, or I can't remember what the details of the Wilt Chamberlain deal was. It is because of a demand, and a demand kind of washes that out, which in a way Jaylen Brown was demanding to get out. But the point is, I don't know if there's really any more superstars in the NBA other than probably Luka, Wemby, and obviously SGA. I think there's like very few now.
Jokic, you don't consider a superstar?
I'm sorry, Jokic too. Sorry, my bad. Jokic too. And when I say my point to this is the way the system has been built, the way they force you to spend your money a certain way to save themselves. That's really what this is all from, to save themselves from overpaying or having a bigger market crush the smaller guy, even though when you look back at championships in the NBA, you've had teams like Detroit win. You've had teams like San Antonio win. You've had teams like, I mean, is Dallas really a big market? Would you consider Dallas a big market? They won one. I think I just noticed now it doesn't really matter which way things go. Criticism is going to come, and it's going to come like a tidal wave. If Rob Pelinka got on a podium and said, we're not going to do these deals with these guys, they're asking for way too much money, what would the response have been? It would have been pitchforks and fire sticks, and everybody's like, this guy needs to get out of here. He doesn't know how to make a deal. So this guy makes a deal, gets the players, pays them, and now they overpaid. They should have got better players. Where? Where are they going to get better players? Where? How? Were the Celtics going to trade Jaylen Brown to LA for 4 picks? Lakers don't have second-round picks, and they now don't have any first-round picks. What is it? What would they have traded? So there is no answer sometimes. Sometimes both arguments can be correct. What's correct is that Rob Pelinka should not have his job. But at the same time, Rob did his job today in revamping the team. There is no other choice. If he doesn't do what he does today, they basically sign a bunch of one-year players, whoever they are, and they punt the year and hope for a better option next year, right?
Well, let me ask you this: by today's actions, are they doing it anyways? Do you think they're worse or better off by what they did today than they were last season?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think when you factor in every guy they got today is a young player. Every guy they got today, almost every guy, is on the increase in their careers, correct? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I'm not saying Grimes and Mamu are Mamu are going to be these all-star type players. I'm not saying that.
But that's your starting front court right now.
Well, again, let's wait to see how things develop. This is still really this is day one. There's some talk that they may stretch Vanderbilt and see if they can go get hopefully a wing player that can play some defense. Kuminga might be one of those guys.
Admitting a failure by Rob Pelinka in order to do that.
I don't know where you're getting all this.
I'm just trying to show you that everything that Rob is doing is a mistake.
Who are you going to get? Which wing player that you could have got? What wing player could you have gotten to be that guy? Like who's available right now?
Well, in a trade, if you're going to trade again,
you don't have anything to trade.
You had picks. You had number one.
You had 2 picks, 2 first-round picks. The other 2 are switches. That's it.
Jaylen Brown. Could have gotten
you needed a center though. So, are you going to pick a wing or are you going to pick a center? Are you going to go into the year with DeAndre Ayton or what? Like you gotta.
I mean, I've been talking to you about this since last summer when the Lakers had an opportunity to build from there, and Rob chose to punt on that summer as well.
Well, he punted, and this is where he's gotten to. And this year he's not punting, and he's still getting criticized. So which is it?
Deservedly so.
Okay, so then what is he supposed to do? If he punts, he's criticized. If he doesn't, he's criticized.
He should have turned in his resignation is what he should have done.
That goes back again to what I was saying is you're right on that, but those who are saying, well, he's doing what he's building the team, you're right there too. If you're going to stay on the Pelinka should have been gone a long time ago, I'm not going to argue against that. I agree. And as far as because Brad Stevens, who I feel is one of the best GMs out there, he's getting kicked in the teeth because people like to wait until scumbags and morons like to emasculate winners. Brad Stevens is a winner. He's a very good executive. But he got hosed in this deal because the league knew that guy wanted out of there. They knew they had leverage. That's something to keep in mind there too. I'm trying to stay out of I don't like Boston. This is a good thing. Yes, that is true. But I'm looking at this from an objective standpoint. Look what this guy did. He sabotaged the Celtics because he was hurt that he was being used to trade for Giannis. And Boston had to make a deal. Not only make a horrible deal, but to the Sixers? That's like the Lakers trading to San Antonio and making them better. That's the part that I was surprised. I'm like, really? That was your last option to send him to the Sixers where you're going to probably see him 8 times next year? And maybe Brad Stevens wins in the end. Maybe he sees it's the Sixers. They're going to blow it at some point because they still have Joel Embiid in there, right? But
actions of a
desperate man. But Edgecombe kind of bridged that up a little bit, man. That was, in my view, other than Cooper Flagg here the last year or so. I mean, I'm like that guy's. When we talk about a rookie that comes in and really like ignites right away, I mean, he's one of those guys that did it.
But again, Joe, I'll say this again. I like your fact that you did point out that it's a younger team, a much younger team, and I get that. And let me bring it over back to Legend. But when you tell me that the Lakers spent a considerable amount of money bringing in Collin Sexton, Mamu, and also as well Quentin Grimes, I would have said that's awesome. That makes one of the league's worst benches a whole lot better. Oh wait, 2 of them are starters? What? And you're paying them like starters? Those guys are bench players, Joe. Mamu is a bench player, as a high-level bench player coming off your bench. Grimes is a high-level bench player coming off your bench. That would have been an outstanding bench to have those 3 come in as your firepower, along with Carr and Mr. probably going to be a malcontent DeAndre Ayton coming off the bench. That would have been, a nice bench. That would have been dramatically improved your bench. But now you're counting on 2 of those guys to be your starting forwards, your starting 3 and your starting 4. And then you're also bringing Kessler, who you paid a considerable amount for, to become that A-list center, which, again, he might develop into. I'm going to give him the room to go ahead and do so. That is a definite possibility. With Luka playing alongside, that's a possibility. But there are still, as a lot of these Laker experts out there, even the most optimistic outside of Laker Tom, who is absolutely gushing right now, even Trevor Lane, the most flowery guy in the world, had to admit that these weren't great deals as far as that's concerned, Joe. And that's where it gets you. If you don't believe me, look at Mr. Rosy side up Trevor Lane. Okay, that's where you can look. And Jovan Buhat, those guys will always give you the rosy side. They're not doing it today because they know and they understand that today's actions were the actions of a desperate man in Rob Pelinka trying to save his job. And I'll leave it at that. Legend, let me bring you back in here. Again, it's been a very active day for the Lakers and the NBA. Where do you think this leaves the Lakers as of right now? You see the rotation. They filled 13 of the 15 spots. And in doing so, they haven't cleared a lot of the problems as far as the bad contracts are still on the books. They did make this team considerably younger, which is good. But did they make this team any better than the 50-win team that they had this past season?
I got to see them play. Right now, I kind of see either about the same or maybe a slight worse. Because, no doubt, you ain't find nobody better than LeBron James. That's just the truth. But you did improve that center spot big time. Having Aiden come off the bench, that's much better. That's where he should be.
Oh, he'll be thrilled to do that.
He probably going to be too happy about that. That might turn the drama. But 3 and 4, yikes. Those 3 and 4 spots, I put a yikes on that one. It's some problems when I saw Mr. Trevor Lane was like he about to spaz out on live camera. I'm like, yikes, especially when they said Collin Sexton. He was gonna fall out his chair. This team, they're younger, so that's a plus. They're younger. The center spot is filled. 3 and 4 spots are pretty weak. Like you got some guys who probably should not be in the starting lineup, but not much else you can do. You got no more money. You don't gave up everything you got pretty much, so gotta make it work. This roster to me can at least win maybe 40-something games. This ain't a championship team. I can be honest with that part. I just don't see it unless there's something else about to happen that's unexpected. This ain't it. This is gonna be rinse and repeat pretty much. Either first or second round at most. I just don't see it right now. You got younger, which is the positive thing, but it looks like you're like another off season away to maybe really be something. Maybe you need one more off season. But I'm not sure what you're gonna do knowing that you have no first round draft pick, so that's gonna probably hurt. So Rob put everything in the basket on this one. This is to me a big gamble what he did. This is a gamble. It can either maybe work or maybe fail. I don't know. But all I can see is a 40+ something win team. Probably first, second round exit at most. It's some things with the roster still not great. It's not gonna be Oklahoma or Spurs, I can tell you that. No. But let's just see what happens. Things can happen, things can happen on paper. I ain't know the Knicks was gonna win, so anything can happen. Things can happen.
This is true. The Knicks did win and surprise a lot of people out there. Again, Joe, and I appreciate Legend your insight on that. Go ahead, Joe.
Thanks, Oli. Is it Oli Boomer? Oli Boomer. You, I don't know what you must have been reading my mind here. Are you guys sure that Luka and Reeves with who was playing center most of the time at the beginning of the year last year when LeBron was out? I mean, I saw a lot of W's the first month without LeBron, and it was Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. So now I know that years change, but let's placate this a little bit. You have Luka and Austin starting the year, but this time you have a competent center that can score and play some defense. I don't know necessarily if anybody's given this at least a little bit of a shot. I think you're too. I don't know where it's coming from.
Well, I could tell you right now, I know where it's coming from. It's coming from the fact that what does this lineup look like in the playoffs? And it does not match up very well.
We have to see how things develop.
Defensively, it's got a lot of issues. Bench-wise, it's still a problem. And so, yeah, there's a lot of issues, Joe. I did look at it from that perspective. Remember, I don't care what it looks like at the beginning of the season. I care what it looks like at the end of the season. You said you're all about titles. I'm all about titles.
Well, there was never a discussion about them winning the title in 2026 or 2027. This is about step one. Today was truly the first step in the post LeBron era. LeBron is not just some, hammy player. We're talking about one of the all-time greats, a guy that helped the Lakers win for 8 years, or at least tried to help them win and won a title. And this is the day one. I mean, I don't know what everybody wants to happen in one day after all this. It's a little unreasonable, don't you think?
No, not really. Because again,
so you want this to flip in one day?
Well, he had a previous summer to build on this team for Luka in his prime.
How are you going to build when you're paying LeBron James $52 million?
You've had so many different speeches and so many.
How are you going to build? I don't give it. I've told you this before. I don't care what they say. People need to stop listening to what executives and players say.
That now for 2 summers.
When they talk, turn your ear off.
No, they're
taught to say the fucking company line. Everybody is taught to say the company line. We know what's going on. We're not stupid. How are you going to build a team that you want when you're paying a 4-year-old $52 million? Who gives a shit what they say? How? There's a cap. There's aprons. How are you going to build another team when you're paying one of those guys $52 million? The whole point of this, the whole irritation, what looks like irritation from the LeBron camp, is he could not take a massive pay cut. His ego wouldn't allow it.
But he's willing to take one now.
Because one of our guys asked a good question today. I didn't see it on the chat here, but he asked us in our chat. He made a very good point. How good would this team have been had LeBron said, you know what? I'm going to play for $10 million, let's say. $7 million.
Which what he might do this summer instead of last
Exactly.
summer.
Why wouldn't he do that with the Lakers? This would have been an interesting team now if he comes back. He might have had a shot. He has some depth now. He could play the 3, the 4, whatever. And if he plays like he did last year, that's a better play than a lot of guys right now that are available. It had to be turned all the way out, and I get that. It happened. We're done. We're ready to go. But see, you can't rebuild and have a hanger-on just kind of hanging there too. You can't. How? You can't. This is not baseball. You can't get Kyle Tucker, and he has a horrible season so far, and you can eat it because guess what? You can go pay more money for somebody else. You can't. There's a cap. And the penalties right now are the worst in sports. You can't do shit. You do one little thing, hard cap. You take a shit over here, hard cap. Everything's a hard cap. The moment you do anything different. In the end, this Kessler deal, when you sit down and you just focus on what's going on, it's really two picks. It's 2 picks. It's not 4. People think it's 4 first rounders. There are 2 flips. That's it. And if Utah plans on being good, that's not going to matter anyways. Definitely the Lakers are going to be good as long as Luka's there. So there's no way to win here. There's no way to win. But you got to start somewhere. This is the start. You're going to have to wait and see how this ends even now with free agency. Instead of sitting there and yapping about what happened last year and what the fuck they said at a dude.
Oh, yeah,
you want to know the last time I listened to Rob Pelinka in a press conference?
Tell me what I can yap about.
Tell you what I want to tell you.
On your soapboxes.
I will tell you what I want to tell you.
No, I will tell you right back what I want to tell you as well, and you're going to like it and sit there and like it. Go ahead.
Tom Brady, Richard mentions it too. Tom Brady took pay cuts. Took pay cuts for a man that wanted to get rid of him for like 5 years, by the way. Mm-hmm. He cared about winning. Does LeBron really care about winning? Those are some of the things that whenever I kind of feel like, man, maybe you're being a little too hard on LeBron. But then there's that little bit there, right? I mean, look at Jalen Brunson. That's a recent. That's closer to home. Not taking $100+ million away so that you can have a chance to win. He cares about winning. And look how he got rewarded. LeBron, it was good having him here for a lot of reasons. But what's held LeBron back, because his career should have had more titles. He's in basketball. It's not baseball. It's not hockey. It's not football. Basketball is a 5-player game. One guy can make that much of a difference. And if he cared a little bit more about winning instead of being showered, he would have won more. I really believe that. And it sounds weird saying, well, he went to Miami to win. Yeah, he did. He did. And I tried to explain to everybody that I didn't feel like that was a bad move, even though half the world thought, and I couldn't understand why everybody was so mad about him about that. I mean, he was a free agent. He went where he wanted to go. What's the big deal? But I think he made some mistakes in LA that he shouldn't have made. I mean, look at what happened. Look what happened with Kawhi. Forget about LeBron right now, too. It's not. Look what Kawhi did. And these guys are all rich. They're set for life. Obviously, they're Hall of Famers. But it's like, how much more money do you need? Really? I mean, Gerald, would you rather have $200 million or $120 million? Here, I'll give you a scenario. Would you rather have $200 million and 1 championship, or would you rather have $120 million and 7 championships?
Well, the 120 and 7, of course.
I mean, that just sounds so much better, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
Warren Buffett says after 10 million, everything's the same. Mm-hmm. How much more money you want? I have money. I don't have Tom Brady money, but I have everything. Like, what is it? And that was the other talk earlier today, not on the chat or anything. I was talking to some friends off air. I'm like, man, why did he not just? But you can't control that, right? So here are the Lakers. They are in a moment now of transition officially, and everyone's going to have to be better going into the year. So that means JJ Redick's coaching is going to have to, be that springboard. And more important than that too is Luka and Austin. I don't want to hear about no soft tissue injuries.
Big facts.
Do not have a soft injury. Soft tissue injuries mean you are not in shape and you're not putting in enough work. I'm just saying, I never heard about Kobe pulling a hammy. I never heard Jerry Rice pull a hammy. They may have, but I didn't hear it. And those guys played 20 years. Both played 20 years. The only time they got really injured is Warren Sapp twisted Jerry Rice and tore his ACL, and then Kobe blew out a tire in his Achilles. That's it. That's what it's going to take those guys out. So my concern at this moment isn't so much roster construction, because there's only so much you can do with the talent available, and they did as best as they could. My thing is Luka going to play 75 games next year, and is also going to play 75 games, and are they going to be healthy through hopefully a little bit of a run? That is something that needs to be discussed more than anything.
Well, I'll just say this. And once again, thank you, everyone, for joining us. A lot of new faces and a lot of new voices in the crowd. Again, I love the guy on the left, the guy on the right, the guy on the left, the guy on the right. You're so funny. They're so funny. They come and they start and they new, fresh. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford. The guy on my right is the experiment, Joe Soro. Again, he's the guy on the right. And then, of course, on the left, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Legend. The guy on the left is now going to be able to talk. Legend, I want to bring you back in. This happens a lot, everyone. Joe takes up a lot of airspace. It's just that simple. But Legend, I appreciate your patience as always, my friend. When it comes right down to it, you see what happened later in the day with Boston and Philadelphia making a trade with Jaylen Brown for, again, essentially two first-round picks, although one is conditional.
Is this Dickface calling me a dummy? Who's he calling a dummy?
Somebody usually is on every show.
NBA is a job. It's a career. The point to money, you dummy.
This is how we do not retain new
motherfucker. You don't call me a dummy. Why don't you come call me a dummy to my face instead of hiding behind your phone?
This is how we do not retain new viewers.
World bitch. Call me a dummy. It's about winning for the fans, numbnuts.
This is how we gain.
Go ask Brunson if it was about the money. Go ask him. Go ask him. Eastern Conference MVP and NBA Finals MVP. Go ask him if it was about the money, motherfucker.
So can I get Legend in here for a sec?
Piece of shit.
All right. This is how we gain and lose viewers all at the same time. So it usually stays around the same. So Legend, let me ask you this. With the Jaylen Brown trade, again, shocking a lot of people later on, because it was rumored that Boston was talking a lot of multiple, really like 3-4 first-round draft picks and multiple players that could help Boston retool and rebuild. This came as a complete surprise, and seeing how Danny Ainge, and like you talked about, fleeced in many people's eyes, in your eyes, and well, I'll just say that, again, the Lakers were desperate, and they made a desperate move, and hopefully they get a great player out of it. So I'll leave it at that. But when you saw that trade later in the day, as far as with Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia, what were you thinking at that point in time?
What the hell were they thinking? I mean, I know you have to trade him, but you couldn't do better than that. Like, you just gave this man away for a box of Tic Tacs and a bottle of water and maybe some M&Ms on the side. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, dang, we just got dumb GMs just running these teams. If you thought the championship window was still open, you closed it. That's it. You think Paul George is going to really help you that much? Is he going to stay healthy? Is he still taking the meds to keep him going? Maybe then he might be all right.
And it's not a team option on that final year. It's a player option for $56 million in that final year.
He gonna take that. I can tell you that already. He's taking that player on. He gonna take that. He ain't turning that down. He's not crazy to do it. Yeah, this is a bad one, man. That's a bad move by Boston, bro. That was a bad one. I know you had to break him up, but that's a young up and coming star that you gave away for an aging star who's pretty much old at this point. Yeah, that's a bad move, man. I don't understand that one. Unless LeBron James or somebody coming, I don't understand that decision to do that. He didn't get nothing back. That was a pretty bad move. I don't get that one. I don't get that one. I think somebody said that might be the second worst they've seen since the Luka one.
We'll see how that matriculates out, but it does make Philadelphia more formidable now. What it does for Boston remains to be seen. But yeah, I think they do definitely take a step back. Like I think the Lakers took a step back with what happened today. I mean, they've still got a lot of holes that they need to fill, and they don't have. The thing is, Legend, now they don't have any assets to fill that with. They've got 1 second-round pick left in their entire arsenal. They don't have any more first-round picks. They've got 1 veteran minimum that they can go ahead and utilize to fill up a roster spot, and 1 second round and 1 veteran minimum, and I think a swap. They do have a pick swap, so if you're into a pick swap, they've got 1 of those left. So, Joe, that's my point I'm trying to make is, yes, they did get substantially younger for the future. Yes, by making these moves today, they're pretty much signaling to Luka that they're going to have to try and look towards, like you talked about before, 2027. This is clearly a sign that they're looking in that direction. Oh, by the way, yes, somebody wants to send you, asking for your location. That's by the way, the address that he put there is his company. Yes, Sinblades with a Y.com. So it is actually a real location. So if you want to meet him there, that's where he is.
Oh boy,
in Temecula. He is not kidding, guys. He is not kidding. That is his actual work address. That's where he's at. The company he owns, Sinblades with a Y.com. While you're there and getting beat up by Joe, make sure you go ahead and make an order for him if you can, please, because he does a lot of great work legitimately at Sinblades. But with that said, Joe, you had talked about, and I will give you credit for this. I'm giving you credit. You have already. Oh, by the way, you're on mute. I got you. Okay, there you go.
Meet me in Temecula.
Yes, he's right there. He's right there.
Yeah, come call me a dummy to my face. Come call me a dummy to my face. And don't be nice when you get there either. Call me a dummy to my face. And I got cameras. I got cameras there, so people will be able to see it.
And Joe, I've met Joe in person. He's legitimately 6'3". What do you go about 260 now?
Yeah,
about that 260. So with that said, my friend, I'm going to give you credit, and I give you credit when you do get things right. And I'm going to give you credit that you were already targeting 2027 as the year that the Lakers will actually try and build a championship team. But again, it's hard for me seeing how every year I want the Lakers to go ahead, and especially with the opportunity that Boston has now given, like Legend said, they've left the door open for the Lakers to walk right through and catch up with them in championships. But the problem is Lakers don't have a team that's going to do it this season. Like you said, Joe, it's going to take another season with probably another GM, a more competent GM, to build upon what's taken place today. And that's the part that's disappointing me, because you're wasting another year of Luka's prime.
Yeah, there was no other option unless you were going to get someone like Giannis or Jokic in a trade, and then now you have the horses to go and compete. But it's just not in the cards the way the system is set up right now. And the Pelinka had to do what he needed to do, and whether it's right or wrong is irrelevant at this point. They've gotten younger, and they've gotten past the last run of players. LeBron was the last of the 2020 title team. Now it's time to go into the Luka era officially.
Oh, there you go. It is the Luka era officially. Luka Doncic era begins, and we're going to be part of it here at the Lakers Fast Break. But Legend, again, a very active day in the world of the NBA, second day. But there's still some players out there. I also noticed that San Antonio, Tobias Harris, 2 years, $31 million in all the midst of this. I would have targeted Rui Hashimura.
Yeah,
I would have targeted Rui. I would have actually had them, because he has proven in the postseason he can hit threes and stretch the floor legitimately more than Tobias Harris can. But your thoughts on Tobias Harris and what that does for the San Antonio Spurs?
I mean, it's not a horrible pickup. You add another vet onto the team with them young fellows, but I just would have thought Rui would have been the better partner to put around Wemby, because it makes it hard to try to double anything like that when you got a sniper literally on the wing just ready to knock it down when he's wide open. So it's not a horrible move, but it's not a great move either. I don't really see how it really helps them that much. I would have really been trying to get a Rui or somebody who can knock it down pretty consistently. So I was a little puzzled when I saw that move. Not for sure how that's going to really help them do any better than what they did. I mean, that was a little questionable on that one.
Joe, again, that's a good question. Somewhat, who still has cap space for Rui in this equation? Could he be the odd man out, because not even the Lakers have cap space for Rui to get him what he feels he deserves at this moment?
There hasn't really been any noise about him going anywhere. He's probably the only player that I know that hasn't had any kind of avenue anywhere. I haven't really heard anything. I mean, we've heard San Antonio, but I don't know. I never saw that as a real one. I think they have enough wing player types on the team already. I like Rui. I thought he had a good playoff for the first time, but I think Laker fans tend to overrate their players a lot.
Well, I'm just going by the statistics. No one's been better in the playoffs from three in history than him.
It never created a legitimate result from it, though. That's the problem, is when, even if he's playing well, it didn't manifest itself to wins. So Rui's benefit right now, I would say, in terms of getting money, I mean, I thought maybe Brooklyn, but why would Brooklyn want him? Would they want him? I don't know. Chicago, I don't know. I don't know if anybody wants him at $20 million per. That's what I heard his market was, apparently. I don't see it. I don't see $20 million at this point now with what's been going on. And he may have to take less, and his benefit would be to go to a team that's going to win, that's going to be a contender, and it's likely best out east, whoever that is, because anybody can be content in the East.
We'll see what happens. And yes, I know, Jeremy, I have seen the memes all day long about the ethnicity of the possible Lakers starting lineup all day long. Yes, I've had to see that in detail, indeed, but I won't comment on it any more than that. But wanted to go ahead and appreciate again Turd War for becoming a member again. Truly appreciate it. Also, as well, big shout out to Drip Show Shop with his 2 cents in there. Appreciate the super chat. Wasn't expecting much from Rob. We'll have to roll with this team. And Legend, again, as someone whose teams with Atlanta and Golden State, Atlanta's a little bit more settled than Golden State is. Golden State's a little bit in limbo as of this time. It was interesting because Kristaps Porzingis' contract was structured so that he could be traded now. He could be traded right now. It's one of the rare instances where you actually come to an agreement with a player and he can be traded right away. It's not like a sign and trade. It's actually just a legitimate trade. He could be legitimately traded anywhere right now based off of what the agreement is in his contract. With that said, though, you are associated with a team right now in Golden State in the Bay Area that has a lot of questions that has yet to be answered in Golden State.
Yeah, it's a team that is definitely kind of doing that meme where everybody running around in the building, trying to figure out how can we get LeBron James here? How can we get LeBron here? They're basically kind of all over the place. They're trying to give Steph that chance to get ring number 5, but you're just not in a situation where you really can do that. Even if you get LeBron James, it's not going to help you. You're just doing a 2019 All-Star pretty much. It's not going to work. It's a nice thought. If you did this maybe 5 years ago, okay, probably work. But it ain't gonna work right now. Like they look like a desperate team that's really trying to make something, trying to get all the little scraps up and try to make something out of them scraps. They're trying, but it just ain't the move. I'm not sure bringing KP back is not gonna really help you too much. I saw they bringing Milton back. I saw that a little while ago. Milton coming back, so that's not a bad bring back. But you're just not in a situation. I think at this point, you just gotta be honest. Steph ain't gonna win another one. Just to be honest, it's over. It's not gonna happen unless he asks
Do
for
you
a
think
trade.
that Windows? You said it yesterday in your rare but very interesting and intriguing profanity-laced tirade that window. It was just beautiful to see. It channeled your inner Joe. I was just loving it. So you said in your tirade yesterday that you think that window has been closed shut.
Yeah, I think it's over. That window closed probably 2 or 3 seasons ago. It's over. It's not much you can do at this point. If I was a general manager, I love Steph. I love him. I'm gonna tell him straight in his face. If you want to win, you gonna have to leave here, man. I'm sorry. It's not gonna happen. If you really want another ring, you gonna have to leave here. It's just not gonna happen. That window is closed. It's over. 2022 was the last one. When Klay Thompson left, you should have knew. Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's been a nice run. It's over.
And again, Joe, as far as the Kessler deal and as far as Austin Reeves deal, whether you say they overpay, what have you, okay, again, I understand that they feel that they're banking on them as foundations for the future. But the other signings of the day, Collin Sexton, Mamu, and of course, Quentin Grimes. Again, Joe, I would said if those guys, were signed for a reasonable amount of money, and they were your bench, your first 3 guys coming off the bench, for one of the worst benches in the league, I would have been really excited, Joe. But the problem is you now have to start probably 2 of those individuals. And that is a problem about, again, not solving the problems with depth, because as you and I both know, Joe, they've got a lot of dead weight on the back end of that roster. There's like 4 or 5 players which are really clogging up this team at this point in time.
Well, that's going to be something that Pelinka needs to clean out.
And you don't to do so, you don't have the assets to move them right now.
Right, because you don't have any seconds to attach to it and dump them and open up a roster spot. So that's where now there's not going to be anything. You're going to have to figure it out. That's one of those things you're going to have to figure out. Call some favors in. Figure it out. That has to be figured out because Vando he cannot be on this team. I am with a lot of you out there who are saying do something about Vando. The question now is, do they try to do something with him in terms of a trade and ask for a favor and then make it happen? Or do you go the crappy way out and have to stretch him and open up some money? And hopefully if you're opening up some money, you're bringing in somebody that's going to have some more talent. That's going to be the key here. There's no more. That was an issue right out of the gate when it came to acquiring the talent. Is the Lakers don't have a single first-round pick that they can trade now for 7 years. That's a long time. So they must assume that the Lakers are going to be good for the next 7 years because they have Luka, and therefore they're going to be picking late or not having a late pick anyways. Cool. Good luck. Hopefully Luka stays healthy the rest of the way. And that's likely what they're going with. And then at the same time, if Pelinka's not going to be here any in 2-3 years, what does he give a crap about? But I do think that the Mark Walter group, whoever those guys are, signed off on this. So I'm not going to put all the blame on Pelinka. I think they're placating. Again, we'll see how this plays out. They've got a young team. They're still putting this thing together. We're going to have to wait till this free agent season is over. And sometimes this stuff doesn't end until August. So it might be a month, might be a month and a half where something gets figured out. Maybe somebody demands to get traded next year, and the Lakers are able to figure out a way to get him for whatever. Too early to assess this team, really. Again, it's just too early, and we got to let these guys play, and then see what they got.
That's probably the most hopeful I have ever heard you talk about on this show. I don't usually hear that kind of optimism from you.
I don't know if it's necessarily optimism, but more being realistic.
Okay. Fair enough. Again, the Lakers, again, very busy in free agency. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat, or let us know if you're watching this after the fact. Please let us know in the comments below. Truly appreciate it. But before we head out, Legend, I want to bring it to you, my friend. We're still got about a half hour left as far as it's concerned. Then later on, I will be on with Caleb Ponce as far as talking to the latest goings on as far as the day in full, because I know he has a lot. just to see Legend the day in the DM. Sometimes you don't even need to be on the air. I wish I would have just shown my phone. I wish I just could have got my phone, Legend, and just shown all the messages from DMs, from texts, from my family members, from the Lakerholics, from Joe's chat that he started that you and I are both into on WhatsApp, from Facebook DMs. I wish I just could have just had that running all day long. That would have made for sheer comedy and absolute internet gold right there, Legend, because everybody came out of the woodwork again in the past 24 hours. Something about what's going on with the Lakers, which is always interesting to see. But I will say this, Legend, whether you like or haven't liked the moves Rob Pelinka has done this offseason, you got to admit the Lakers always keep people talking, and I'll leave it at that.
Hey, that is one thing for sure. Whether it's a good move, bad move, or do nothing, people gonna still talk. That is one thing I will say. If you turn on First Take or something right now, I bet you the Lakers gonna pop up. It's gonna pop up. So that's one thing I can say. They're gonna be in the talk conversations no matter what. No matter what. That is most definitely true.
So we'll see what happens. But again, some major moves on the day as far as it's concerned. Also, Sandy Aldama, Legend, going to Dallas. A little bit under the radar move as Masai Ujiri starts to build his team around Cooper Flagg. Again, I still think that they should move on from Kyrie. I just think because of the sheer age factor and the timelines, right. I just don't think it's going to... I just don't understand how it's going to work as fast as they want it to. By the time they get into a position where they're a title contender, Kyrie would be pushing 37, 38. And it just makes more sense if you put, like Joe said, you built a young team to build more around Luka's timeline. Maybe they should go ahead and start doing things in Dallas that way as well.
Yeah, I've been kind of on that point as well. I think it was about time to go in and move Kyrie. Because even though he is like a good way to learn for Cooper coming into the NBA, you got to start building the team around that timeline. So you could trade Kyrie to a team that's looking to compete for a championship and get some assets, get some picks and all that back, and start building around Cooper timeline. So that's a good move. I've been thinking about that for the longest, and I've been kind of thinking it's probably going to happen. Maybe at the trade deadline or next summer, that Kyrie might get moved, because at this point it makes no sense for somebody of Kyrie's skill level to be on a team that legit playing for nothing right now. Legit playing for nothing. It makes no sense for Kyrie to be there. No point of paying a guy whatever you want, whatever he may want for nothing. You might as well go on and move him to a championship team, a team who may need a dynamic guard or something like that to come to their team. Go on and get them picks and assets and start building. It's the right thing to do. It's the right path to do. It's the proper way to do it. And I expect it to happen.
I'm going to go ahead and point out to Rich, some great words Richard said. I'll tell you, everyone, one thing. This channel right here may be a little different with the delivery. Yes, it is. But you guys say things other people don't want to talk about, and you guys are on point. So thank you, Richard. Truly, that made my day. In a day where I've got nothing but bad news and head scratching news, PlayStation, burn in hell, PlayStation. But with that said, I'm still pissed at PlayStation. You have no idea. And I'm no longer even a huge physical media guy, and I'm still pissed. And about that is, but PlayStation rotten hell. But anyways, with that said, Joe, let's put the Lakers aside for 1 minute, but while we still have some time left. Were there any other moves in the past 24 hours that kind of caught your eye as far as it's concerned that kind of got on your radar as far as being something that you thought was very, very good? Instead of we always bash, we always argue, we always talk, a lot of times the negative standpoints. Let's talk about something positive for one of these other teams. Was there any other moves that caught your eye that said, you know what, that makes sense?
Not really. Today, this was similar to the LeBron signing in that rumors were so loud before. I'd say that the surprise is getting Kessler, because Grimes was already coming, and that's what I heard. And then Mamu was supposed to come as well. So those two. It was pretty loud. I was like, all right, it looks like these guys are going to be some fillers that are going to build this team. The big surprise is Kessler for two picks and 2 swaps. That's essentially what that's my surprise. I was not expecting that deal. I was expecting them to not get Kessler because of Danny Ainge. And I actually think Danny Ainge, he might have gotten a better deal, but if Kessler ends up being a 2010 guy, I'm sorry, the Lakers win that deal. It's just, that's what they needed. And you're talking about a league, a conference really, where you have to have that guy. You're going to deal with Hartenstein and that anorexic dude in Oklahoma City. Still a good defender, just can't play against Wemby. And then you got Wemby. You got to have that big guy there. There's no other way to look at it. And now they have that guy. And now he needs, after having shoulder injury, he had a labrum tear from college. Finally fixed it last year. I had a labrum tear years ago. And it's if you can take care of it quick enough, you'll be okay. Mine, it took about 2 years to get back to basically like 95%. It can never be 100% because there's too much wear on the ligaments and the cartilage. But he got his shoulder fixed, and he got his money, and now it's time to show what that is. And he's got a pretty damn good quarterback to throw to him. There was no one like that over there in Utah, I'll tell you that. So
now they do.
That's going to play a factor.
With Triple J on that team.
Well, I meant
Joe, they
guard
still
wise.
got these. Oh, point guard. Keontae
Yeah.
George, that's not his game. He's more of a scoring guard, and then of course they now have the second pick of the draft as well. So we'll see. Again, the Jazz look like they're forming a lot of talent as well. So I'll leave it there. But let me go ahead and bring it back to you, Legend, on that as far as what Utah is building right now. I'm going to be talking on with Matt John here in a couple days, or probably a day, where he covers the Utah Jazz, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say. But as far as Utah Jazz, I know that a lot of people are talking about Ainge and as far as what he got back, plus also getting Jackson Hayes as a backup. They got Yusuf Nurkic still as to bring in some size. Plus they still can field a all 7-foot front line if you line Nurkic up with Triple J and Markkanen. So they still have size, length, with Ace Bailey with their second number 2 draft pick they got. They also have as well Keontae George. Again, it's still like the Lakers, a lot of youth that has to develop. But if it hits, they might become something of note here in the not too distant future in Utah.
Yeah, if their young talent, hits with Triple J and all, they don't add it to the team. Then adding Jackson Hayes is a good backup center. I mean, if it hits, they could be another, I say, a Charlotte Hornet story situation where they go on a hot little streak and start, winning a lot of games in a row. So they got a good shot of really showing improvement. At some point, you can't keep tanking. You got to start winning games. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start turning some things around and start being a much better team. I think this year you're going to start seeing maybe some bad teams start looking decent, start looking more respectable. And I wouldn't be surprised if that end up being the Utah Jazz, if they be one of the teams where they become at least a little more respectable. Probably won't be a playoff team, but at least more respectable. Because the West is, crazy hard, crazy tough to get anywhere in the West. So wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I know you guys are trying real hard to look at Kessler's 3-point shooting. Yeah, it's he's not taking a whole lot of threes, guys. Even though he did hit 6 of 8 last season before he got injured. Let's not go there, because before that he had shot 18% from 3 and very limited, very limited shooting after that.
He's going to be he's going to be the inside and defender type center. That's why they got Sandro. That's why they got Sandro Mamu. It's Mamukelashvili. Mamukelashvili.
Just say Mamu.
Mamukelashvili.
Not just say Mamu.
Yeah.
We're good with Mamu. Yeah.
So Mamu is that guy that you want, and he's going to slide into the C area when the Lakers want to run a small unit, and he can create separation. He's got good height, and he's got a nice shot. So he's a lefty, and if Luka finds him, which he will, he's going to have a lot of opportunities to take shots. This is a flexible offense. There's a lot of potential with this offense. And that's something that chemistry and playing, practicing is going to enhance if these guys are all buying into what JJ wants to do. Another thing I wanted to bring up, the overpay. So I'm not looking at Quentin Grimes' money as an overpay, and I'm not looking at Mamu's.
So you're looking at a 4-year deal with a player option for $60 million at averaging $15 million.
It sounds like it's a lot, but these guys are getting paid below the just above the teens. That's not those kind of contracts for a young player that may have potential of getting better on a younger team with a captain that's going.
She does. I'll give you that, but she does.
You have to look at this more from the standpoint of if something needs to get done, are these movable too? That plays a part in this. If you're not going to allow these guys to do straight trades, well, then you got to make sure that you pay guys certain money so that you can use that money or their money so that you can get something else. That's what this is about. But I'm not looking at, I don't think, I'm sorry, looking at how a lot of these contracts are, I don't see Quentin Grimes' contract as an overpay. I think it's probably right where it needs to be. Same thing with Mamu. And then as far as Kessler's concerned, he's a starting center who could be a 2010 player who's going to make 30. Hey, that's worth 40 for a lot of these. I mean, look at Chet Holmgren. He's making 40 a year.
Well, he has to play at that level, Joe, to earn that contract, that 2010 level.
And he's going to have every chance to do that because he's the starting center for the Lakers for the next 4 years, barring a trade. And Luka is his captain. And Luka is – so it was reported that Luka demanded a center. Okay, we're going to go with your center. We're going to get either Jalen Duren or we're going to get Walker Kessler. One of those guys is going to happen. Which one are we going to get? Well, Here's the deal. Here's, I think, how it happened. Whichever one's going to allow us to get you at a number that we really do feel like that you can earn. Maybe they thought Jalen Duren wants a max. We're not going to give you the max. And he's like, that's all I want. Well, okay. And then maybe Detroit said, we're going to match any deal that you give them. Okay, thank you for being honest. We're going to go talk to Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge, and again, Duren wants a max. Will he get it? Will he won't get it? I still think that Sacramento deal makes a lot of sense for both teams. So shift to Danny Ainge. You all know what Danny Ainge wants. He wants every draft pick that's been ever given by any team at all times. But then Pelinka and Utah have worked together before, and he's like, listen, you guys helped us in the Luka deal. We'll help you out here a little bit. What do you want? And here you are.
Okay.
You gave up 2 unprotected picks in the future. Let's just hope the Lakers don't end up regretting that. We won't know for a while. And then you have a couple swaps, which are not giveaways. The Lakers have those picks. It's just a matter of will they get swapped or not.
I am actually looking up that right now in regards to the clutch clients still on the Los Angeles Lakers. I am not seeing a active list on that. So for now, I'm just going to say it's Bronny, but that's not 100% sure. If I come across and it's updated, I will let you know. But again, Bronny is the for sure clutch client on this team. And Joe, I know that has made you happy as far as it's concerned, as far as the shift away from clutch and LeBron and all that, as far as the hold on the organization is concerned in recent months, not just in recent days, but in recent months. So again, when you look at it, how much happier does this make you in regards to getting away from all the noise and the, interference at times, or the direction of what clutch has done to the Lakers organization?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Rich Paul, never will be. He's, in my view, from an operational standpoint, I'm not talking about personal side. I don't know anything about him personally. He meddles too much. He's kind of like P. Diddy of sport, of the agencies here in the NBA. I think he's always got to have his face in front of everything. Whenever Biggie was doing his thing or Mace was doing his thing, you always had to see that little pipsqueak with mouth-breathing piece of shit running around, dancing around them all the time. Like, can you fuck off? I'm trying to figure out the LeBron thing here, but I always got to hear about Rich Paul. Like, why do I got to hear about Rich Paul? Why? I don't want to hear about him. I don't want to listen to him. I don't give it. Who gives a shit what he thinks? And while they did get AD to LA, they also screwed up not allowing it to last a little longer. And it cost the Lakers championships. It's no more. And that's great. And I want Bronny off the team. I want all of that out of here now. I want this team to focus on winning. I don't want to hear about LeBron anymore and clutch and all that horse shit. I'm not getting what I want with Rob being gone and Genie, because there's a timetable on that. It is what it is. But you can clean this out a little bit. I don't want to see Bronny in there. That man cannot play in the NBA. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I know what I'm looking at. But I want him gone. Let him go. Go open up the roster spot. Hopefully there's some Nick Smith Jr.'s out there that are going to run circles around them so that they can have a reason. Hey, man, I'm sorry, but we can't let this guy go. We got to clear a roster spot. Yeah, what? You're going to eat $2.3 million? Who gives a shit? It's a $10 billion freaking team. So I'm just saying, I want it all gone. LeBron is gone. I want everything else around him gone. I don't want to see this. And Vando's in that bunch too. That one, there's a little bit more longevity with that one again, because if they do stretch him and open up some more money because they feel like they can get somebody else like a Kuminga, I'm not going to disagree with that. You got to do what you got to do. They did it with Deng. You can do it with this. Anytime you can get more talent, you got to eat a little bit of the deal. At least it's for a good reason. Get a better player in that situation. You shouldn't be able to argue that.
I thank you. Appreciate it, Jays. Yes, let's not forget Vando as the valued clutch client, Joe, as far as it goes. So I believe there is two, to answer your question, JY, two clutch clients left on the Lakers. And Legend, I'll bring it back.
Let me clear this up. Let me clear this up a little bit. And I was very privileged to have met Will Clark. For those of you who don't know who Will Clark is, former San Francisco Giant, great baseball player. He has a podcast with a guy named Bernsey on air. It's called No Filter. And Will Clark is a very honest man. And he's one of the few stars that I've seen that lives up to what he showed on TV. I'm a Dodger fan. He was a Giant. And Will Clark was loved by Dodger fans. That's how great Will Clark was. And when I met him, I liked him even more. And he said something today that really hit home, because my wife asked me years ago, even asked me in recent times, why didn't you coach, Joe? Why didn't you coach? I'm a football guy. I would have loved to have coached. But I felt that much like how he said today, he goes, these guys are not going to listen to me. What am I going to do? Give participation points for somebody hitting 220 and striking out 150 times? He's like, I'm not going to put up with that. But that's what they put up with in baseball now. And for me, unless I had a situation like Nick Saban at Alabama where kids listened down south, that's what Nick Saban said when Texas was hunting him and USC was hunting him. That was the excuse. Even in Texas. He's like, kids in Texas don't listen to like they do down south. Parents are a little different down south. I know this because I have friends in North Carolina and Baton Rouge also. It's a different culture over there, man. Completely different culture when it comes to bringing up their kids. People in Southern California definitely don't listen to anybody. So for me, I'm in California. I'm in Southern California. I understand the politics. That's always been there, by the way. That's not just a thing now, but it's added to the problem. I'm not going to be a guy that's going to be able to sugarcoat anything. I think some of you have already seen that if you're here for the first time. I can't. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I am going to be who I am, and if you don't like it, fuck off. I don't give a shit. So if your son, who's 15 years old, 16 years old, he's not good enough to play, I'm not going to be the one that's going to play politics. I don't do politics. I may talk politics. I may have a vision of what my politics are, but I don't give a shit about politics. I'm about results. And if this player is better than that one, I don't care how much money that parent has given to boosters or rallies or to the whatever the hell they do over there. I don't give a shit. I'm here to win football games. And I knew that I would rub people the wrong way and it wouldn't work. And that's what this is. It's just, what are you going to do? How is this going to work out? Well, hopefully the guys that are in charge have a little bit more tolerance and they're more adaptable, which I think they are. And let's make the right call in getting the right players on a 15-man roster in the NBA so that we don't lose players to Phoenix because you have a spot for a guy's son so that you can sell jerseys. This is the Mark Walter group now. This is the Guggenheims. They don't need to go sell an extra 1,000 jerseys of some chump on the bench because his name is James. Let's move on. Jeannie screwed that up already. Now the adults are in the room. Let's focus on winning.
Jeremy said, Legend, Jerry, maybe we can pray for great chemistry and perhaps that can help us go on a run with these players. Again, what we see out of what's going on, Legend, I don't know if today was an act of desperation, but I started off the show with that as far as the quote that I used, that I feel in my heart is probably the best late thing. Because I think Rob was feeling some pressure coming into this offseason. He made some promises and he needed to deliver upon. And depending on who you talk to, he delivered some of that today. But the thing is, will a lot of ifs come about? Can the Lakers find enough defense with this rotation? Can they find enough depth with this rotation? Will Kessler evolve into that A-list center that they're now paying and have paid for in getting him to LA? A lot of questions now remain. And again, it all leads me to right back to one individual, Rob Pelinka, and the fact that a lot of pressure is on him because there's a lot of eyes now around him watching every move that he makes. And finally, today, we may see the fall or rise of Rob Pelinka for good after today. Your thoughts, Legend?
I totally agree. This, to me, as I said earlier in the show, this is all or nothing. You have put everything you had. You gave up all your first round draft picks for the next 7 years. This is all or nothing at this point. You definitely overpaid for Kessler. Feel like you overpaid for for Reeves. This is it. This is like your big three. This is it. This is all or nothing. And to me, this does feel like you are putting your job and everything on the line. This is it. If this worked, congrats. I guess you look like a genius. If this fails, I have your suitcase over here in the corner already packed up and ready to go. Where you want to fly to? Because you about to be the hell up out of here. It's gonna be one or the other. So this is it. This is it. Is the roster perfect? No. Is this a championship team this season? I don't know. Because I think things can happen. That's one of the things I will say the New York Knicks have shown me. Anything can happen in this league. You can surprise yourself and end up winning. On paper, does it look like a championship team? No. But we didn't think the Knicks were the championship team either. And look what happened. So anything can happen. But I do feel like he's put everything he got. Like, you pretty much put your job on the line, whether or not this works or not. And this is it. Especially going into the point where the Luka contract extension talk is going to start coming up. This better work. Because I don't know if you guys already seen out on the internet, but it's a certain fan base feeling themselves right now thinking they got a shot. So this Rob Pelinka just don't fuck it up. That's all I'm going to say. There is a certain fan base who really feel like they got a shot. They can come after him.
I wouldn't stretch Vando. I just think I don't like stretching. That's just a me thing. I personally don't like the concept of waiving and stretching players. I don't like that money sitting there. I just don't. Maybe it was just watching Luol Deng's money sit year after year after year. I just don't like that personally. That's just a me thing. So I'll leave that to you if you think that's proper. But both those players you're talking about, Zaire Williams and Thibault, both have been disappointments in their respective teams. They're complementary players at best. Let's just be real on that. I have argued with other people who've been fascinated by them and who've seen them repeatedly been disappointed by those players. So again, they're complementary players at best on that. So if you want to stretch Vando for those players, again, for better defense, I can understand that. But Joe, I will leave you with the last word, and then I do have to head on out. I will stop on by later tonight, guys, at 9 p.m. with Caleb Ponce. I'll see if Legend's still awake, whatnot, see what we can go at it as far as for more thoughts on the NBA. But Joe, any last thoughts? I will leave you with the last words, the final words, because you've been, James Hex came in last moment to shed his Laker Tom optimism at level 10 there. But any last thoughts from you, my friend, before we head it out?
Yes. Let this play out a little bit, guys. It's a transition. It's day one, literally day one of this. Let's let it play out. And no one wants this to succeed more than Laker fans. And if you don't want this to succeed, you're not a Laker fan.
I want to be proven wrong. I want us all to every
And
year
the-
that
the
we don't
fix-
say the
the-
Lakers are going to
the
win.
fix-
I want
the-
us to be proven
Yeah,
wrong.
the
and win.
fixation on this. What is it? What are they calling it? The snow time? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, they've called it snow time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Again, I don't want to go delve into that. That's something I really.
I
don't
find
want
it
to
interesting those who say stuff like that, yet when something turns on them, they're quickly becoming a advocate for something.
Mhm.
This is why, Gerald, I don't like people. Those are the if you just wait long enough, people will tell you who they are. They will tell you, even with their little stories and their goody two shoe type. They're not. Okay, more often than not, they're not. There are a few that are though, and those people should be supported and protected. But more often than not, those who like to sit on that high horse in their little glass house, yeah, they're out there all the time. And I love calling those guys out. That makes me happy actually, because there's no defense. When we're sitting here looking at a time in sports where there's a cultural shift in all sports, and you're still on the archaic way of determining certain things. It's like, dude, this is 2026. This isn't 1999 anymore. You know, things change, things adapt. So I'm indifferent today because that's the only place I can be. I don't have a feeling yet until we see how these guys play and how the roster continues to adapt and how Rob and whomever continues to add to this mix of players, and what happens at the trade deadline next year. If there's a way they can add more and make a better run, it's a long, long, long year until we really find out what this is about. And I'm still waiting. I'm still going to be monitoring my thing until October 20th. That's the one I'm still got. I got a little note here on my little phone. Until that guy signs that extension, I am going to be watching that. For those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about the guy over there in Denver. July 6th through October 20th is the window of extension. That's when he can extend to his Supermax in Denver. If he doesn't, things could get very interesting. It's likely he will, but I'm going to wait till it happens. And then you won't be upset about what the Lakers can do next year should there be interest. Because you damn well better believe that deal's going to happen if there's interest of that guy wanting to go west. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I got. And I'm going to go watch some Dodgers now. So it's a good time to check out here, Gerald. Thank you for the hour and a half, 90-minute show. And I'm going to enjoy the Dodgers hopefully sweeping the A's here. There's going to be a bullpen game. And I might have a show tonight, but I'll probably have a show tomorrow. So for those of you who don't know my show, it's called The Experiment. You can look at YouTube. Also, my ex named The Experiment as well. If you don't like me, you do like me, come on and do your thing. I'm a little bit more somber on my own show. You'll see if that's something you're into. But again,
Appreciate the super chat, Tromix 96. He said playoffs or Rob needs to be fired. There you go. Playoffs or bust.
I think Rob needs to be fired anyways, but
oh, you know it.
I swear.
So
you need to be gone either way.
well, again, in the midst of all this, Legend and Joe, I've told you about all my messages today. And again, the Lakerholics, I wish they would have been on the air to argue this out, Joe. Legend. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful to watch the back and forth that they were going. After all, Jamie was just livid as far as that's concerned, and Tom was just loving it each and every. Just the dichotomy of those two going back and forth, and everybody putting in their 2 cents. Michael, L. Rob, And then again, I at the very end with after I said my quote that I started the show with as well, I gave them that exact same quote. Jamie gave me a smart ass comment, so stop getting me with those sobby quotes as far as for how depressed I am right now, Gerald. And I just said I'll leave it at this. For me, I think from what I've seen with Rob Pelinka, I sent them a link. I sent them a link that Rob should check out, and it's self-help books for what you do when you need a new job and you're unemployed, because that very well may happen for Rob Pelinka. And I'll leave it at that. With that, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. For all the new viewers and all the new people that have stopped by, please like and subscribe. Hopefully, Joe has not driven you away, because that can happen, and I appreciate you staying. But he also brings people in. Legend, go ahead, my friend.
I want to answer that question I see in the chat. Someone asked me, is LeBron more likely to go to Golden State or elsewhere? I really don't know. It's so much. I feel like Golden State definitely has a big play. It looks like they know something, and Draymond is doing all that talking. It makes me think something might be in the works. But if it's me, he should go back to Cleveland. Go to Cleveland. Do your farewell tour. Do what it started at. The people there are going to love you. They're going to give you the best.
I think he should go to the Spurs, Legend. I really think he should go. If it's all about winning.
You're getting that Kevin Durant treatment. I'm just going to be honest. If you go there.
He would get destroyed to go to.
He would get destroyed. It's a wrap. If you go there.
I mean, but if you I'm talking on paper. If he should go. That's where I would think he would go. But again, it is what it is. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. I want to thank Joe Soro and Legend for taking the time out of the day. I'll be on later tonight with Caleb Ponce. Legend, again, Joe, you're welcome to stop on by. Again, he's going to talk about more about the NBA and all the deals that went on the whole day, not just the Lakers. So he'll have his 2 cents.
Send me a link. I might chime in.
Okay. But we want to talk about the NBA as a whole. We'll do a full NBA observation. So, yeah, if you guys have the chance, stop on by later tonight, indeed. So, for Legend, for My God Next Sports Media on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Joe Soro from the Joe Soro Experiment, please like and subscribe. It's me, Gerald Glassford, from this channel. Please also like and subscribe. Hopefully, you'll be back for more tonight and in the coming days right here as we see a new team arise right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
Telling me ever, sicko.
What?
Nothing.
Left on Base is still asking you to yell at him.
No, I'd never.
Oh, I thought we did enough yelling on the show already.
Yeah, I'm not yelling at that guy ever.